Good morning, and welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore pre-service meditation. We take this opportunity to breathe. Inhaling completely and exhaling fully. Keeping the breath slow, smooth, silent, and sacred. Just allowing the breath to remind us that there is only this moment. Remembering that I cannot take a breath for 5 minutes from now. And there's no way for me to take a breath for 3 minutes ago. I can only breathe in this moment. So go ahead and relax with the breath, closing the eyes, and allowing the breath to relax the body. With each exhale, allow the body to let go even more. And no matter how slowly you are breathing right now, breathe a little slower. Again, keeping the breath smooth, silent, slow, and sacred. Letting go of all that thoughts of the past activities of the morning, and suspending for right now any thoughts of the activities of the upcoming day. Letting go of the thoughts of the past and the future. We stay present, we stay aware to this moment. For truly in this moment, life is fully lived. In this moment, love is, spirit is, life is. We allow this breath to guide us to the inner sanctum of the heart, to the throne room of the heart, to the Holy of Holies, that still sacred place of the Most High, the self of yourself. And in this space, we experience clarity. In this space, we experience unconditional love. In this space, we experience peace. Peace, be still. Peace, be still. Peace. Be still. Out of the stillness, the activity of spirit is manifested. Out of the silence, the word is spoken. So as we bring our awareness back to the room, back to the body temple, back to this moment, we open the inner eye to see the vision of spirit, and we open the inner ear to hear the words of the divine. Your only guide. Truly, beloved, your soul speaks to you. I am leading you into many new experiences. And your only guide will be this, my inner voice. Fill your life so completely with my desires, my thoughts, that I, the Absolute who created all things, will create through you my desires. Know that you are but the instrument that I am using to create physical things in the material world. Spiritual things in the spiritual world are created without the medium of a physical being. In bringing the spiritual essence into material being, I must needs resort to the physical mediums which I have created. Therefore, have every confidence as you imagine and give thanks for the physical manifestation of my idea, that you are only bringing into being that which I desire. Go now, make the demonstration, and know that in its fulfillment, it shall even be as I decreed. And so it is. Take a breath. And this concludes this morning's pre-service meditation. Peace and blessings.
My name is Norman, and I'd like to sing a song that I wrote called Wake Up Every Morning. And I owe this song partially to my dad, because he said that if you have nothing else to be grateful for, be grateful that you're alive. I'm gonna wake up every morning. I'm gonna wake up and greet the brand new day. I'm gonna wake up every morning. I'm gonna get out of bed, let my heart tell my head I'm so happy. I said you're alive, not dead. I'm gonna wake up grateful, greet the brand new day. No, I don't care if there's rain or snow, if the temperature's hot, if the temperature's cold. No, I don't care, all that I know. I gotta get out of bed, let my heart tell my head I'm so happy. I said you're alive, not dead. I'm gonna wake up grateful, greet the brand new day. I'm looking in the mirror, who's that I see? Pull away the cobwebs, what do you know, it's me. So I'll give that person lots of love and care. And by looking in the mirror, things are getting clearer that someone is really there. Oh, you're my sister. Oh, you're my brother. So says my daddy. So says my mother. we're all just family. Is this news to you? We gotta get out of bed, let our heart tell our head. We're so happy we said we're alive, not dead. We're gonna wake up grateful, greet the brand new day. Let's all just wake up every morning. Let's all just wake up, come on, wake up, greet the brand new day. One more time. Let's all just wake up every morning. We gotta get out of bed, let our heart tell our head. We're so happy we said we're alive, not dead. We're gonna wake up grateful, greet the brand new day. We're gonna wake up grateful, greet the brand new day. Thanks, everyone. Good morning.
Wake up, everybody. I couldn't do it because Eugene was laughing at me. Woo! Wake up, everybody. Come on. It's a new day. Let's do it. Let's do it today. Woo! All right. Good morning, all. Good morning, all. Good morning, all. Thank you, Eugene, and thank you, Norm. All righty now. Woo! All right, let's get going. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Baltimore's virtual service. I am Tracy Rhymes, your host. Woo woo! Our speaker today is, drum roll, practitioner Dr. Roni Ellington. Our musician is Norm Hoagland. Woo! Serving as practitioner for today is boom, 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 boom. The man who led the pre-service meditation, Eugene D. Holden. Woo! And our sign language interpreters assisting with making this service open, inviting, and accessible to the deaf community are Faith Moore, woo, and Sonia Chavis. Wow. Working behind the scenes, holding things down are Frank Matthew and Jim Lefter. Woo, woo. All righty. Hopefully everyone is having an awesome and amazing morning. All right, so let me get situated here. There we go. Oh, nope. Hold up. I'm working solo. Work with me. There we go. So before Eugene comes and grounds us in prayer, let me share this about him. Eugene D. Holden has been a student of science of mind and spirit for over 33 years and has been a licensed religious science practitioner for 15 years. Whoa. Eugene worked at home office for Centers for Spiritual Living, both as program manager, then department manager of World Ministry of Prayer for 10 years. Eugene has been a contributor to the Science of Mind magazine for 12 years. Currently writing the monthly affirmations and the daily guides 1 month per year, touching lives, around the world. From 1995 through 2001, Eugene served as imam in Muslim tradition at a mosque in Southern California. Eugene served as spiritual director for various alcohol and drug treatment centers in Southern California. Currently, Eugene is the spiritual director for Business Honoring Spirituality, located in Lakewood, Colorado. Thank you, Eugene.
Thank you, my sister Tracy. Thank you, everyone. So join me in this beautiful thing I call prayer. How good it is to recognize first and foremost that there is this divine intelligence something. Sometimes it is known as God, sometimes it is known as Allah, sometimes it is known as Krishna, sometimes it is known as Olodumare or Vudun. But whatever it is called, we call it forth into our conscious awareness, recognizing that it is that divine something from which all things are created. And in its original form and by its very nature, it permeates, it penetrates, it fills the interspaces of the universe, meaning that there is no space where that which I call God is not. Filling the interspaces of the universe means that it fills the space between the space within the space. For truly, there is no space where God is not. And so, recognizing and acknowledging that this infinite intelligence is everywhere present at all times, I declare, I accept, and I know that at all times it is present right where I am, revealing itself in, through, and as the I am that I am. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, I know this to be the truth of each individualized expressions of spirit right here today. Right here, right now, God is, we are. For truly, there is no place where we can go where spirit is not, for we are created in that spiritual image and after the spiritual nature of the divine itself, which means that we are fully imbued with that same creative intelligence and power that causes the earth to spin. We are fully imbued with that same creative intelligence and power that has created the heavens and the earth and all in between. You see, this is who and what we truly are. Divine beings of light. We are the brilliant illuminations of pure spirit. Praise God. And so it is from my awareness of our oneness in spirit and our oneness in life and our oneness in God that I speak this word for this beautiful celebration today, as we have come together as family for Centers for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore, where we have collectively come together for the soul's purpose of guiding and directing us to a higher vibration, to a higher frequency of spirit, which is love, unconditional love. And so I give great thanks for everyone who is involved with today's celebration. I speak this word especially now for our spiritual leader, the Reverend Dr. Raymond Anderson, knowing that as he continues to stand firmly on the foundation of spirit, as he continues to stand boldly in the divinity of his being, that he allows himself to be used by spirit. See, I know that Dr. Raymond really has nothing to say, not of himself, but he opens up and he allows the word of spirit to be spoken through him. And so we are uplifted by the words that come through the beautiful Dr. Raymond Anderson. And for this, and for so much more than my words can ever convey, I remain forever grateful and thankful. It is from this space of gratitude, this place of thanksgiving, that I now release this word into the beautiful and dynamic activity of love and law. See, I know that as this word is released into the law has no other choice. It has no other recourse. It cannot help itself. It must take these words, mold, blend, mend, shape these words, and then return these words unto us, not void or empty, but absolutely and completely fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we allow it to be simply because we declare that it is so. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Eugene. All righty. The Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's community honors the diversity of all religions as represented by this ceremony. Baha'i is the path of unity and peace. Buddhism is the path of compassion. Christianity is the path of love and forgiveness. Confucianism is the path of deliberate tradition. Hinduism is the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. Islam is the path of submission to the will of God. Judaism is the path of living by sacred law. Indigenous spirituality is the path of honoring the earth and all life. Shintoism is the path of rituals and honoring nature. Taoism is the path of ultimate reality. Unitarian Universalist is the path of social justice and sacred activism. Science of mind and spirit is the path of the divine principle of love and law. The heart represents our love for and unity with all life. All right, now I have some announcements for you. We currently have 2 weekly ongoing ways that you can study, learn, and discuss. Wednesday nights, the Science of Mind textbook exploration group, which is facilitated by Reverend Dr. Ray. And on Thursday nights, you hang out with Dr. Roni Ellington, who facilitates that study group. Friendly reminder that the 2021 spiritual journals are in. You can get your copy today by going to shop.csl.org. Membership, let's talk about it. If you are interested in becoming a member or renewing your membership, the Discovery class is available online. Contact us at info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. Rev is not here, so I can say ORG. He won't laugh at me today. For more information. All right, so let's go. Now, sign up for the CSLGB newsletter at www.cslgreaterbaltimore.org for more information. You can also subscribe to CSLGB's YouTube page and follow us on Instagram. Visit www.cslgreaterbaltimore and the CSLGB Facebook page for more information and news. Okay, here we go. We got to count to 3. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, on 3, we all say prayer works. And for those of you who've been with us, you know the deal. Okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3. Prayer works. That's right. I felt that one. Woo! All right. So we as a community, continue to treat and move our feet, knowing the truth for everyone around the planet. Practitioners are available after today's service for one-on-one prayer, and prayer requests can be sent at any time to info@cslgreaterbaltimore.org. All right. You heard a little taste of them if you were on with us earlier after the pre-service meditation. Our musician for today is Norm Hoagland. And Norm has worked as a full-time singer, guitarist, and songwriter in the Baltimore, Washington area since the year 2000. Woo! His many experiences have given him a rich palette to draw from as a singer-songwriter. Norm's love and respect for all of life, people, plants, animals, the earth, is what motivates him to keep on writing and singing. Norm has been a religious science practitioner for over 10 years. He considers writing songs about love, giving, and thankfulness to be a large part of his lifelong spiritual practice. To learn more about Norman Hoagland, visit his website at www.normhoagland.com. I give you Norm.
Thank you so much, Tracy. You just said that perfectly. I'm Norm, and I want to sing a song. It's called Song for Alex. Now, Reverend Alex is the minister at the Washington, D.C. Center for Spiritual Learning, and she is one of my many teachers. So this song really is about honoring and being grateful for the teachers that we have that are teaching us to be teachers ourselves about love and light, religious science, and all wonderful things related. Everywhere we go, everyone we know is through spirit. Everything we think and every song we sing is through spirit. We're guided by a light, and we can see that light in your eyes. So every smile we make and every step we take is through spirit. Everything we do and everything we choose is through spirit. Everything is growing and everything is flowing through spirit. We're guided by a light. We can see that light in your eyes. So every smile we make and every step we this trusting in you and this trusting in me is with spirit. This guiding and giving, this loving and living is spirit. Created by can see that light in each other's eyes. Yes, every smile we make and every step we take is through spirit. Through spirit. Through spirit. Thank you.
Thank you, Norm. Woo! All right. Eugene will now lead us in a spiritual practice.
And before we get into the spiritual practice, I realized in my prayer, giving the blessing to Dr. Raymond Anderson, knowing that he, right where he is, you know, Spirit's doing what he's doing. But I also realized that the speaker for today is Dr. Roni. And so I just know that right where Roni is, that the Spirit of the divine speaks through her in a way that touches our hearts and opens us up to live a life of grace, spiritual practice. So a while ago, I took us through a spiritual practice called the inner smile meditation. And I want to go through that again because it's a very important spiritual practice for a couple of reasons. One, it's a Taoist practice that has to do with bringing the healing energy of the smile to the organs of the body. Very powerful practice for the health and the rejuvenating of the internal organs. But I've also expanded it, and we're going to get into the expansion towards the end of that, where we are sending that energy of the smile to the earth. So I want you to, first of all, close your eyes, except for those who are watching the interpreters. And I want you to take a nice deep inhale and exhale. And bring to mind something that makes you smile or someone that makes you smile. Can you feel the energy of that smile? And now, allow that energy to smile through the eyes. The reason why we smile through the eyes is because the eyes control the autonomic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system is controlled by the eyes and how we see things. So when we see through the eyes of love, that balances out the nervous system. So smile through the eyes and we breathe. Keeping that smile on your face. Take that smile from your eyes down the face, allowing the jaw to relax. Yes, and now feel that energy of the smile as it travels down the neck and the throat. Allowing the neck and the throat to relax. And we smile. And now, send that energy, that smiling energy down to the heart. Mother Teresa says that we should welcome everyone with a smile because the smile is a signal of love. So as we smile to the heart, we are sending love to the heart. And in essence, we are telling the heart that we are grateful for the activity of its beating. We are saying, thank you, heart, for beating without me even asking. And we smile to the heart. And if you are aware, you can feel the heart respond to the smile. And now we gently smile to the lungs. That healing energy, that loving healing energy of the smile goes to the lungs, wherein we are in essence saying to the lungs, thank you for the activity of your inhale and the exhale, and the inhale and the exhale, without us even asking the lungs to do so. We smile to the lungs, giving thanks. And if you are aware, you will feel the lungs respond. And now we smile down to the liver. Oh, the beautiful liver. And how the liver functions every moment of the day and night. Again, the smile says to the liver, thank you. Thank you for functioning without us even asking. Thank you for the work that you do. Oh, and so beautifully we smile to the stomach, not the abdomen, but the stomach, where the stomach functions in the digestive system as it stores the food and then breaks the food down again without us even asking it, without us even thinking about it. We smile to the stomach, gratitude. Now we move the energy of this inner smile to the back where the kidneys are. And on top of the kidneys rest the adrenal glands. And as we smile into the kidneys and into the adrenal glands, we are saying thank you for the function that they perform. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and now we smile down to the abdomen, which houses the intestines, the large intestines, the small intestines. And we give thanks for the function of elimination that the intestines do with grace and with ease, without us even thinking about it. So this smile says thank you, but the smile also sends love to the intestines. So this inner smile from the eyes all the way down to the intestines is saying to the body temple, thank you. And you know how it feels when someone smiles at you, it brings you joy. The organs are living organisms and they can feel this smile and it brings them joy, which helps in their being healthy and rejuvenating and being re-energized. And now, let's expand this smile. Imagine yourself in your room and see yourself rising above your house, your apartment, your condo. See the neighborhood as you continue to rise up higher and higher. See the city, the state, the nation. Now imagine yourself above the earth where you can see Mother Earth. See it? See it? And with that smiling presence, with that smiling energy, we smile the radiance of love to the earth. That beautiful green-blue planet that we call home. that provides us with everything that we need. Everything that we need. And as we smile to the earth, we lovingly say, thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, Gaia, for all that she does. And as we smile to the earth, we become aware of the part that we play in nurturing our mother. So gently, we bring ourselves back closer to the earth, where we can see the country, we can see the state that we live in. We are aware of the city. Now we are aware of our humble abodes. We are now once again aware of the room. Become aware of the body temple. If you need to wiggle your toes, do so. Become aware of the sounds within the room. And when you're ready, take a nice deep inhale. And then exhale and open your eyes with a smile.
Thank you, Eugene.
Isn't that good? Right. I love that one.
Very good, very good. Whew, all right now. So Eugene put us right in that perfect spot. Our speaker for today is Dr. Roni Ellington. She is a mathematics education professor, inspirational speaker, and STEM education scholar, and a mentor. Dr. Roni Ellington has spent the last 18 years cultivating herself as a teacher, speaker, scholar, and professional development expert. Trained as a mathematics educator, Dr. Roni Ellington has authored several scholarly articles on STEM education, parental involvement, and successfully navigating the STEM pipeline, particularly for minority students. As a co-owner in Evoke Life, Dr. Ellington is an expert on transformation learning and personal mastery. As a licensed practitioner, she is committed to bringing this teaching to the masses through teaching and is extremely grateful to serve this community in whatever way is aligned with her spiritual mission. All right, Dr. Roni, it's all yours.
Thank you, Tracy. So first of all, I want to say welcome to each and every person that has joined us today. I looked through all the names and sent blessings. Thank you, Eugene, for that smile meditation. I feel like I'm going to smile as we go into the dark side today. So it's just so appropriate. So we're in a new month. Thank you for just this opportunity to open the month. And this month's theme is celebrating divine truth. And so as I was asked to do this talk maybe 2 or 3 months ago, it seems like 2 months ago, and it creeped up on me. And as I was preparing, I recognized that the theme is celebrating divine truth, but the first lesson is about welcoming the shadow. So I said, okay, isn't this interesting that welcoming the shadow is the first sermon in this theme of the month called Celebrating Divine Truth. And so one of the things we want to explore is, what do we learn from the shadow, from the dark of winter, of the shadows cast in the heart of summer? What richness lives in the shadow place? So I sat with this theme, and this is what came to me. Eugene, you said it real best. When you're asked to speak, it really isn't about you. Some things come through you as you. And it was interesting that this particular theme was for me this week, because a lot came through me as I was preparing for this sermon. So in this sermon today, people, we're going to take a journey to the dark side of ourselves as a way to access the diamonds of our lives and our personalities. I would assert, just like diamonds are and pearls and seeds are cultivated in the darkness of the soil, we grow and expand through moving powerfully and purposefully into the dark places of our experience. Now, we realize in spirit there are no real dark places, right? Because God is light. Light casts a shadow, but the shadow ain't who we are, right? If you think about when you stand in a bright sunlight and you see a shadow, that shadow clearly isn't you, but it's cast. So we want to just embrace that because it is a part of the light, right? So in this talk, we'll learn some practices to help us navigate and excavate the best of ourselves as we open up and really embrace and acknowledge and even celebrate those aspects of ourselves and others that we generally hide, we feel shameful about, or guilty, or even those things we deny. So that's what we're going to do. This whole idea of how do we use these quote unquote dark places to actually grow and heal. So first, I just want to start with defining the dark side, if you will. The shadow, as defined by Carl Jung, is the negative sides of our personality. Excuse me. The sum of all unpleasant properties or traits that a person wants to hide. Things that they feel are inferior, worthless, or unworthy. And the primitive side of us, some people call it our instinctual nature as opposed to our intuitive nature. Even though sometimes they can feel the same, but instinct requires reaction, intuition is about creation and knowing. So when we think about this whole idea of the shadow, we're talking about those traits that we find unpopular, unpleasant, things we want to hide. So again, as I thought about the theme for the month and the theme for the day, I started to think about, how can we actually celebrate those aspects of our personality and perceptions that we may be trying to hide? When we try to hide anything, we are assuming that hiding them is actually the best approach. But what if the divine truth that we need to embrace is actually birthed through the acceptance of and the celebration of our shadow? I just want you to sit with that. So I'm going to assert that there is some divine truth that is trying to be birthed in our consciousness, but can only be birthed through the acceptance of and celebrating of the shadow. So you see my picture here of the egg, and the shadow is the chicken. Think of that as a metaphor for us embracing some aspect that we are hiding or putting on the back burner or saying is bad, but there is actually a truth that's being birthed through us as we embrace this so-called shadow. So just sit with that. I just want you, because y'all going to do some work today around this aspect. All right. So let's see. I got some notes here. I want to move on. So I want y'all to watch something real quick. All right. I'm going to ask y'all to watch a video. So what I wanted you guys to see, which isn't working right at this time, is a video from Dreamgirls. Anybody watch Dreamgirls? And there's a whole number in Dreamgirls that Eddie Murphy as Jimmy Early started to sing, and it was called Stepping to the Bad Side. And if you really think about it, if you remember that screen, I was going to actually share it, but something's going on with sharing that and this, so I'm going to let it be. But when Jimmy Early started to step into the bad side, there was this whole entourage of dancing and singing and celebrating that was a part of this stepping into the bad side. It was a musical production that was just spectacular. Now, when I was starting to prepare for this, this song kept coming to me, right? Let me move. Let me do so. It kept coming to me as I was preparing, and I was like, why is this song coming to me, Spirit? I watched the video several times. I was just enthralled with this whole dance move of stepping to the bad side. Why is that? Well, it was something about this stepping into the bad side that was so celebratory. So it was a number that was so electric and satisfying. You see Jimmy Early coming out with his microphone. He was stepping into the bad side with some celebration. And what that reminded me of is, if we really want to embrace the bad side, let's celebrate it, because there's something about stepping into it that frees us up. So when I was thinking about this sermon, I watched this musical, and what he said was, I had to take myself on a mean ride. He had to go to something about his bad experiences. Somebody took his woman, somebody took his job. It was a whole lot of so-called negative experiences in Jimmy Early's song, but he kept stepping into it and celebrating, and he had background singers as he was celebrating these bad sides. So why am I saying that? I'm going to invite us to bring that same kind of celebratory spirit as I walk you through some practices as you begin to embrace aspects of your personality and others that to this point you saw as a deficit or as a problem. Because in spirit, there is no deficits and problems. There's only opportunities and possibilities. So what if I told you that the very thing you wanted to manifest in your life was actually accessible through the so-called bad side of you, who you think you are? What if I told you that in celebrating those characteristics and personality traits that got you here is actually the access for what's needed to get you there? Whether it be great relationships, money, prosperity, joy in your life, physical ailments, all the things that you feel like you need to transform in this moment can be accessed through a celebration of the things you're trying to hide, the things that you feel shameful of, the things that you feel are not your best self. Because again, through those things, there is a divine truth trying to express itself through you, but because we won't embrace them, we tend to push them off. So I just invite you to bring the same Jimmy Early celebration to the rest of this conversation. Okay, y'all with me? Y'all can't talk to me. So the next case, what we call our shadow is nothing more than an aspect of our nature waiting to be embraced and reclaimed. And this was given to us by the brother Jacob Liberman. And again, that's the point of this message. I want you guys to see from here on out that anything that comes up that feels negative, that feels like it's not your best self, just understand it is an aspect of our nature willing to be embraced, reclaimed, and I'm going to add celebrated, right? Celebrated. Because it is that thing that a divine truth is trying to reveal itself through us, but we are not ready to hear it because we're not embracing and reclaiming those aspects. So another thing that came to me as I was preparing is this idea of a celebration of life. We all know that when someone passes away in the physical, we have what's called a celebration of life ceremony. At least Black people do. We call it a celebration, a homegoing. We have these very celebratory terms to reflect when someone passes away. And just like a celebration of life when someone passes away, we may feel sadness, a sense of loss, and even pain when we get in our Black and we dress up and we go and we're paying our last respects to this particular person that has meant something in our lives. But we still celebrate. It's not an either or, it's what? a both and. So there is a sadness, there is a sense of loss, there is pain, but there is also celebration. We celebrate what that person meant to us. We are sad and we are celebratory. So I'm not suggesting that as you explore these aspects of yourself that are not your quote highest good or your highest expression, that you can't be sad, feel a sense of loss, feel a sense of pain, yet still celebrate. Okay, can y'all get the difference? It's not an either or, because sometimes we believe the reason we withdraw from those feelings of depression, etc., sadness, is because we believe that we can't be sad and be grateful. We can't be sad and be thanksgiving and celebratory. We can. We don't have to spiritually bypass the sadness in order to explore the aspects of our personality that are not our highest. Get me? So that's what I wanted to bring up. What came to me is that when we are celebrating someone's life who has passed away, we celebrate. Yet we know that a new life is going to occur because that person is no longer there in the physical. So a new life will be birthed. The same is true when you celebrate the dark places of your personality. When you start to celebrate them and start to acknowledge what they've given to you, acknowledge the things that hurt you, you are actually embarking on a new aspect of your life, a new possibility for your life. So I bring another verse here where it says, the people who walk in darkness will see a great light. Those who live in the land of the shadow of death, upon them the light will shine. This to me actually reiterates what I've been trying to say up to this point. I only got one major message, which is there is light in the darkness. There is truth in the darkness. There is aspects of us that are trying to birth itself through the darkness. Just like a pearl and a seed grows in the darkness, so can we. I invite you to stop making yourself wrong for having qualities that are less than, quote, ideal. What that does, it makes you what? Human in this human experience, right? It makes you complex. It makes you you. So there's nothing to hide and be embarrassed about. It is your humanity that is expressing itself as this shadow aspect. And I'm going to share a story with you that I'm not quite proud of, but I've actually gotten proud of, because I realized that by me acknowledging certain aspects of my personality that weren't the best, that I projected onto other people, I've actually grown into the practitioner you see here today. But it was only through me acknowledging those aspects of who I am that got me here, because at first I was so busy resisting and avoiding those parts that I didn't have the energy to actually be here with you today. All right. So in the spirit of Reverend Ray, I had to bring out some science documents and pictures. I say to him all the time, his pictures are great. So I want to talk a little bit about the science of casting a shadow. When you think about it, all light produces a shadow. Even when the sun is directly over your head, there's a slight shadow, because remember, the shadow comes from the direction of the sun. There's an angle that is made, and there's a projection that is cast as a shadow. There's also shadows on the object to give it what? Density. It gives it depth. When you have a shadow, you have depth of the picture. Without the shadow, there's no depth. Without us embracing our shadow, there's no depth. When people learn how to draw, they learn how to draw the object and the shadows as a way to create a more fulfilled picture. So those of us who just denounce our shadow as we push it to the side, we are doing what? We are diminishing the depth of who we are and what we express, because somehow we've made the light parts of the figure more attractive than the dark parts. But you need them both in order to be on this three-dimensional plane and to give a richness of our experience. So I invite you to take this notion of a shadow self, a dark side, and transform it to, it is just bringing depth to my personality. It is the aspects of my depth that I'm now embracing so I can fully experience those things. Okay? So the takeaway here is that shadows are always cast when there is light and an object. To be able to draw effectively, you must not only learn how to draw the object, you have to learn how to place the shadow. In the world of art and science, shadows are not bad, they are necessary for a full picture of life. Okay? So here's our little seeds. They grow in the darkness of the soil. So do you. So do you. Because it is through those quote unquote dark aspects that you've learned a divine truth. Something has been revealed to you. You may reflect on some of the hardest times of your life that felt so painful. But when you came through those things, you had a truth about you and the world, about God and people that you now embrace that has given you light. Or is it just me? I'm not speaking for you, but just reflect on some aspects of your life where you were in the soil of the dirt of it all. And you allowed yourself to fully embrace that. And now, as you look back on that, it has been one of the most rewarding experiences of your life. Okay? So here's the work you're going to do. As John said, as Jesus said in John, I come so that you may have life and have it more abundantly. Again, what if this abundant life is accessible through the darkness? So I'm going to invite you to answer some questions. And this is an active part of service. So I literally want you to answer these questions. Okay, are you ready? So we're gonna live more abundantly in this moment because we're going to embrace something that we've been hiding or didn't see. All right. So I ask you to think about some aspect of yourself, your life, or someone else that you love, that you have denied, resisted, made wrong, or are ashamed of. You don't have to tell anybody. I just want you to write it down, bring it to mind. Something you may feel guilty about, or really just something you want to forget, or you just haven't fully embraced. So you can be in full-fledged resistance, or you just don't want to embrace it. Either on the spectrum is fine. Okay. So think of something, some event, some aspect of you, something you project onto others. That's a key place to find it, because it might be you that you're denying it so much that you're reflecting it on someone else. Something you don't like about another person. Something that gets your goat. All right. Has everybody got something? All right. I'm going to take that to mean yes. All right. So here's the next question. Now, I want you to meditate on this. What divine truth is the source of your struggle with this issue? What is some truth that's at the core or at the heart of this issue that you are quote unquote struggling with, or this person you're struggling with? What is some truth that's right at the core of it? Now, when you ask for the truth at the core of it, I promise you it will come to you. All right. I wish I see if I was in the church, I would actually ask you to give me that. I'm gonna stop the sharing so y'all can really share. Anybody just want to share what was the divine truth? When you really think about it, you can put it in the chat. Just type it in. What is the divine truth that you can see is at the heart of whatever this issue is, whether it's within you, something you projected outward? Just type it. I want to see what people got to say. All right. Well, I'll let y'all think on it. When we go to give up the judgment, just get at the truth. All right. Next question. What spiritual quality would you have to embrace to accept this divine truth? What would be a spiritual quality, whether it's faith, love, joy, acceptance, There's only life. I don't know, but what I guarantee you, if you ask the question in earnest, that answer will emerge. This quality that if you embraced, then you could actually accept this truth and have a different experience. Somebody said trust, intuition, all is well. Mine was I need do nothing. I have this real thing about what I got to do. And what the Course in Miracles taught me a long time ago is I need do nothing. Right. And that one kept coming to me. Every time I look at these dark sides of my personality, it's caught up in this, what I got to do, what I need to do. And I don't need to do anything. I can choose. But this idea of obligation to others and myself is a dark aspect of my personality that has me be resentful of the work I choose to take on. Now, that's just my business, not y'all's. But I'll take on things and then resent the fact that I took them on because I'm so gotta do, right? I gotta do. No, you don't. Okay. So for me, this idea, this divine truth of I need do nothing kept coming to me. And then in that moment, if I was willing to be receptive to that fact, see, that's my quality. And last week got me because, I wrote notes, and in our study group, we unpacked this. My unwillingness to embody receptivity has me resist that I need do nothing. So as I take on this divine quality of acceptance, and then I embrace the divine truth, I need do nothing, all my resentments about other people and what they got and what support they got and what I ain't got actually diminishes in that moment. Y'all following me? All right. So here's the deal, people. Abundant living is always available right here, right now, as we embrace all of life, including those aspects of us that we want to run from. The questions you answered so powerfully earlier as an access of life is what is asking you or begging you to be embraced so that you can live life abundantly. For me, it's I need do nothing. The more I embrace that and the more I'm receptive to that, the more I can choose. And I can give up obligation, resentment, anger, how dare I, and being a victim of all the things I chose to take on, which is crazy talk, but it's my particular darkness, right? Right. So I ask you that if you want to be unmessable with, if you want to be able to be and do all that you want to do, don't have anything that you're ashamed of. Let that go. Let that go. Because it's the shadow, again, that gives you your depth. So when somebody says something that quote unquote hits your button, recognize that that's your button and it's being hit for a reason. So celebrate it, because you're about to get a divine truth about you and life that you would not have gotten had you not had that button pushed. So your relationship to people hitting your buttons are going to shift when you embrace the shadow. Because now you will welcome it as an opportunity to do what? Grow, expand, and live more abundantly. So I'm going to go back and share my screen. So y'all with me still? Okay, that is the key message and the key takeaway of this lesson. Everybody can see? Life abundantly. I came that they may have life and have it more abundantly. Not just have more abundance, but have life more abundantly. Nothing hidden. Nothing in the dark places. And the dark places have been embraced. How full is that? When you can live that way, there's balance, there's focus, there's intention. Because there's nothing you're resisting or avoiding. There's nothing you can't be with. See, the least things you can be with, the more your life gets smaller. Think about it. When you can't be with something, what do? You avoid it, you deny it, you suppress it. That means life ain't as abundant as it could be because you're too busy resisting, avoiding, and denying. When there's none of that there, you have access to life abundantly. People can do whatever they want and you're unmessable with. Because you're not avoiding your own triggers. You're embracing them. So there's nothing with. Things can happen, and you don't have to shrink so that you're okay, because you're okay because you say so. All right. And as I end, I would like to share my own personal story, because I want y'all to get that what I'm asking you to do is not something I don't do on a regular basis. So I'm going to share this story, and then we're going to talk about some practices, and we'll be done. So let me just share, and this was actually recommended in the sermon notes. Share your own story. That made me feel some type of way. I got a little nervous because I'm like, I don't know if I want to share, but if I'm going to ask you to share your dark spaces, I need to share mine. So let me share something that happened to me and what occurred. So about 10 years ago, I was in a coaching program. I was in a business coaching program. All my life, I've been an academic. I didn't know anything about business, and I joined this coaching program because I wanted to, make more money and leverage my expertise to make money and to be abundant. So I had this coach. She was fabulous. Her name was Dr. V. And I was talking to her about my finances. Now, I've always been a good steward of my money. I always did the right thing with my money. I paid my bills on time. I did the right thing. But I was yet not having the level of abundance that I knew I could have. And my relationships, particularly the relationship I was with at the time, was going nowhere. So I started to talk to this sister, and she said something to me that pissed me off. Let me just tell you, I'm going to try to sound enlightened about it. But at the time she shared this with me, I was not happy about it, but I could tell it rang true. She said, Roni, can I share something with you that I see about you? And I said, sure, because I knew she was going to say something, good, because, I'm doing all the right things. And she said, do you know that you can be a self-righteous, judgmental, controlling, arrogant being? I was like, what? And so I trusted her. So my first reaction was to defend, reflect. But because I trusted her, I sat with what she was saying. Now, I didn't at the time see the relationship between, first of all, I would never call myself judgmental, right? I'm open. I had read all the books. I knew judgment wasn't right. But somewhere when she said judgmental, controlling, and self-righteous, I was like, okay. And she also said that because of that, you're limiting your experience of relationships and money. Because when you need to control and you're self-righteous, you don't take in new information about new things because you think you're right. So I sat with that, y'all, and I just sat with it. I didn't resist it. So my first instinct was to resist it and explain. I stopped that. I said, no, I came here because there's something I wanted to get out of life, which was more abundance and better relationships. So I got where I was judgmental. Now, my judgment didn't show up like other people. There's some people's judgment that shows up very vocal. My judgment was always in the background. See, when people didn't have my enlightened perspective of all my training and book reading, I would dismiss what they had to say because theirs wasn't as enlightened as mine, right? Which then had me cut off whatever else they said, which could have been the source of me learning something that could contribute to my abundance in my relationship. But I was so self-righteous. It was a real subtle self-righteous. Now, my boyfriend would argue I still got it, but at least I got a hold on it because he'd be like, you don't know everything. And I'd be like, you know what? It's coming up, right? So I would say that when I saw that, I saw it everywhere. I saw how I subtly took myself out of conversations when people were deemed not as enlightened as I thought I was. I could see how I would marginalize certain people when they didn't articulate in ways like myself, because I am quite articulate. So when people would take a long time to talk, I would want to speed them up, like get to the point. That's an arrogance, as if their self-expression was somehow more minimal than mine. Now I'm just telling my business. I still have to check it because it's that part of me. Not like it's wrong, because my quick thinking and my smarts got me somewhere, but that doesn't give me the right to be judgmental and minimizing of others. So when I started to embrace that, my relationships with people got better. I could actually be patient when people were slower to speak than I was, or it took them a while to get their thoughts together. I could sit with them and be with them and get the gems and the jewels they were trying to impart on me without my self-righteous judgment. I could then hear when people had ideas about how I could improve my consulting business, even though they didn't know what I was doing, they had some ideas that I could use. But my self-righteous and controlling ways, when they were dominating the story, I couldn't hear them. So here is what I know, that had I not been willing to hear what Dr. V had to tell me about my own self-righteous, controlling, judgmental, arrogant behaviors, I could not transform them in a way that I didn't make them wrong. My judgments and, my way of being got me far. It got me a PhD and all kind of stuff. But it wasn't going to get me the abundance and the connection that I wanted. So I had to be willing to embrace being open, being real humble, not false humility, because I'm good at that, but real humility, that my view is just as valid as others and theirs is just as valid as mine. So it is in that I put my ego in check, as my friend Couture would always say, get my emotions in order and my ego in check so that I could actually receive the abundance that people were trying to impart on me that I had a block to. So this shadow, or this image of myself, slides along behind me as I walk towards the light. Now I walk towards the light. I embrace being a practitioner, but I know that shadow is right there. So I watch it and I just don't let it run the show. I don't make it wrong, but I don't have it run the show because I have ownership. I own it. It doesn't own me. And I just keep walking towards the light, being connected, being abundant. So here's the practice that I would like you guys to take on. Notice areas of your life where you feel shame, hurt, or guilt. And then also, what are some of the things about others that push your button? See, some of us are so enlightened that we don't feel shame. Okay, I got it. But there are people that push your buttons. Either way, it's the same thing. It's the same thing mediating. So for some of us, we see it in ourselves. For some, we see it out there. Doesn't matter. Look at both. Then I want you to write down those areas and those things that push you buttons. Write them side by side. Okay, here's the things I feel guilty about. Here's the things that push my buttons. Notice any themes and connections between lists. What I promise you is you'll see some thematic trends in both of these things. And I just invite you to notice them. Okay? Now, next thing you're going to do is, what are some beliefs? And I put lie, because in the middle of a belief, there's a lie. See, the truth is the truth. See, in the middle of truth is you. In the middle of a belief is a lie. There's some lie, because if it was truth, it would be the you. And I say you as all of us. Anyway, that's my whole analogy. There's a lie in there that is at the heart of what you are ashamed of and the truth. See the lie. There's some lie that's there. Trust me on this. If you do this in earnest, you'll see it. And then what is the divine truth that you can be willing to embrace to transform this guilt, shame, and triggers in your life to something more aligned with divine truth? List those qualities that you could embrace that would shift your experience, and pick 2 of them this week so that you can practice. Let the darkness be your guide, and let's celebrate. Okay? So that's what I invite you to do, to embrace the divine truth that's right in that shadow. I love you all. I hope this made a valuable contribution to who you are and what you're up to. There's nothing for you to be ashamed of. No one can trigger you. No one can offend you. That's not even real. And the more you shine your light, you will see that you will become unmessable with. People can be and do whatever they choose without you being up in arms. Doesn't mean you don't take action for what matters to you. Don't hear this as being complacent, but you're not doing it from a place of reaction or avoidance or defense. You're doing it because it's yours to do and it's your expression. All right. So as we prepare for the affirmation, I want y'all to sit and I want you to share this with, like Jimmy Early was singing, step into the dark side, right? Or step into the bad side. I want y'all to really bring your full self to this affirmation. Ready? I do not judge myself nor other persons. I embrace the shadow and reclaim my highest good. I celebrate all aspects of myself and others with love, compassion, and thanksgiving. All right, let's do it together. I do not judge myself nor other persons. I embrace the shadow and reclaim my highest good. I celebrate all aspects of myself and others with love, compassion, and thanksgiving. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Dr. Roni. Now, we are going to invite Norm Hoagland back.
Everyone, thank you, Dr. Roni. Lots of stuff to think about. And here's some stuff I was thinking about a few years ago, and I wrote this song. And thinking about all the negative thinking and the struggle between the negative and the positive, and knowing or God is behind it all. Every little thing and every big thing, all of my riches and even what I don't have, the love and the smiles make it all worthwhile. Even for the gloom that can fill up the room, 'cause love lights the way, makes the gloom go away. The roof and the walls, the rooms and the halls, the garden and the woods, and everything that's good. And when it's bad, the anger and the sad, the grief and the pain, the dryness and the rain, 'cause love lights the way, makes it all go away. My happy little heart got hit by a dart. Love aimed it well, you can tell by my smile. Even disappointment happening again. All the stormy weather again and again. But love lights the way, makes the rain go away. Everything I got, if I like it or not. Everyone, everything, in the winter and the spring. Think of what's behind it, they're always as good. In the bottom of the bucket, they're still as good. And love lights the way for another. Rolling down down the river, rolling down forever, rolling down the highway, whether yours or my way. Even when I'm walking, and even when I crawl, when I'm barely even coping, and every time I fall, but love lights the way, makes it all a good day. Love lights the way, makes it all a good day. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Norm. This is the time of service. We are reminded that practicing the law of circulation is one way we support our spiritual center. It supports where we are spiritually fed. It supports not only the spiritual aspect, but it supports the nuts and the bolts and the daily workings. So we have rent and for the building and lights and all those other things. And moving forward to what we are creating as the new home for CSL Greater Baltimore. Knowing that what we give, we receive. All right, now, as a reminder, and if this is your first time with us today, the Center for Spiritual Living Greater Baltimore's Practitioner Corps, as the spiritual leaders of this community, got together and they have pledged to collectively give an additional $5,000 by the end of the year to the expansion of CSL Greater Baltimore. Now understand, this is in addition to their regular individual monthly tithes. And as of today, they have pledged $4,722.50. Woo! Setting the example. I love it. I love it. I love it. And we, the community, have a matching pledge. And as of today, that pledge is $1,250. Woo! Yes. Now, this is for those who, again, maybe be visiting or joining us for the first time. And a reminder to all of us, we have the practitioner pledge. We have the community matching pledge. And we have the anonymous person who said they will match the community's matching pledge up to $5,000. Now that is awesome and amazing. So this is an opportunity for the CSL Greater Baltimore and the community to have $15,000 moving in through and as the expansion of CSL Greater Baltimore. Now that is awesome, and I'm going to give that some more applause, because that is amazing and great that for all who are giving of their tithes, this donation. And so how do you do that? How do you tithe? How do you offer? How do you donate? You have several ways to do so. You can do it via PayPal, you can do it via text messaging, and you can do it through the good old postal mail service. If there's a certain place within CSL Greater Baltimore that you want your tithes and offerings to go, such as the Emergency Care Fund or the New Building Fund, any of those, or any other things, you can also designate that in PayPal in the notes section, on a check in the memo section. And for those who may be texting, see Sue Monahan, our treasurer, and she will let you know Or you can trust that the board, as excellent stewards, will determine where circulation is best and most appropriately used. For more information, go to cslgreaterbaltimore.org/giving. All right, so our prosperity declaration. I would like you together as a community to join me as we declare this. I joyfully, consciously, and gratefully participate in the law of circulation. I trust in the spiritual principle that says, as I sow into my beloved community, I demonstrate my awareness of standing not only in the flow, but as the flow itself. As I sow of myself, my time, my treasure, my talent, I demonstrate my support and engagement in my community's vision, mission, and purpose. I actively give as a demonstration of manifesting, of reaping the harvest of a world that works for all. Now, Eugene will bless these tithes and offerings.
So as we bring our offerings and our tithes into our conscious mind and our conscious awareness, basically holding it to our heart, I speak this word of blessing, knowing that as each and every one of us gives, we give from the abundance of the heart. And as the law of reciprocity says, as we give, so shall we receive. And this is what I know, is that we cannot outgive the source. We cannot outgive God. We cannot outgive life. And so as we continue to give to CSO Greater Baltimore for all of the beautiful ways in which it serves this beautiful beloved community, I know that we are blessed and we open up to receive. And the more that we receive, the more we are available to give. The more that we are available to give, the more that we are open to receive. And for this, I give great thanks. I bless all of the funds and the monies and the ways and the treasures and the talents that everyone beautifully and gratefully gives to this beautiful community. For this, I give great thanks, and I lovingly allow it to be, knowing that it is done. And so it is. Amen.
And so it is. Thank you so very much, Eugene. Okay, so this is the time of service to remind all of you to make today awesome and amazing. Whatever you do, not just today, but make this week until our time together again and again and again. Make it awesome and amazing. Okay? Y'all promise? I got you? All right. Now, if you would like today's practitioner to pray with you, please enter prayer in the chat. If you would like to participate in Visioning with Sue Monahan, remain on the line. After Eugene closes us out with the benediction, we will allow all to unmute, chat, and connect. All right now. See y'all.
Oh, and it's with a joyful heart that we speak this word. Yeah, I know it sounds like me, but it is all of us, because there's only one of us here, and that is the divine infinite presence of God revealing itself as each and every one of us. And so it is with this divine, beautiful expression of life that I declare that we celebrate the shadow. See, because we know that without the shadow, there cannot be any light, because there is only one thing, and that is the light of God shining so beautifully in through and as us. And so we celebrate the shadow, knowing that as we celebrate the shadow of ourselves, we allow the light to shine even more. As we embrace every aspect of ourselves, the good, the bad, the indifferent, there is no good or bad, there's just God. And as we embrace all of that, we just step out today knowing that we are the abundant expression of the one, touching lives just by our smile, bringing it to our conscious awareness, those who may have pushed those buttons, those that we want to embrace in forgiveness, those that we want to raise up in a beautiful and powerful way, because all there is one power, one presence, one life, and that is you, that is me, that is we. And we have let this word just be fulfilled even now. I declare that it is so, and so it is. Woo-hoo!
And so it is. Thank you, Eugene. Thank
Welcome.
you, everyone, on behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, who has served today. Thank you all on behalf of Reverend Dr. Ray, who participated in service by your presence. Thank you.
Thank you.
Blessings all.